Hello and thanks for joining us tonight. Macon's district attorney says murder suspect Keymarion Manor was not being monitored when he was shot and killed last Thursday in Macon's Bird City neighborhood in Anthony Holmes. Thanks for joining us. I'm Frank Malloy.
And I'm Lori Johnson. Tonight we know he was out on bond and scheduled for trial this spring. Manor was supposed to be on house arrest and wearing an ankle monitor, not out in the streets with a gun.
Who was in charge of tracking him and why wasn't he being monitored? Ashlyn Webb tracked down the answers in tonight's top story.
Yes, Macon District Attorney Anita Howard says the Anytime Bail Bonding Company was supposed to be tracking Maynard. They're one of a handful of private bond service companies approved by the sheriff and chief superior judge. But Howard says the company was not monitoring him.
To explain this story, we have to go back to February 2022. A judge signed off on a $50,000 bond for Maynard. He's charged with murdering Elijah Jones in December 2020.
In loss of life cases, that we do not consent to a bond unless that is consented to by me.
However, the final call in approving bond is up to the judge. His order listed Manor had to wear an ankle monitor, stay on house arrest, and could not have a gun. Manor's murder trial was scheduled for this May, and until then, Anytime Bail was supposed to track his ankle monitor by GPS and notify the DA's office if he violates the order. But Howard says the company did not. Last Thursday, the sheriff's office says Manor was out driving in Anthony Holmes with two other men. All three started shooting at Jordan Collins. So, a murder suspect out on bond was involved in another act of violence while out of jail.
As district attorney, are you confident that other murder suspects, dangerous suspects that have these ankle monitors are being tracked given what we now know about Anytime?
Not by Anytime bonding. I am not.
Howard says she started having concerns with Anytime Bail about 2 weeks before Manor was killed. She says Anytime has failed to report previous bond violations by other suspects.
I have concerns with the accuracy of their monitoring because that affects the integrity of our prosecutions and could jeopardize our prosecutions.
She says she met with a company and they said they didn't know what conditions were laid out in bond orders.
That is a huge neglect on their part. They are getting paid to do a job and they should know what job they are to do.
We obtained this letter that Sheriff David Davis sent to Anytime Bond on February 14th. He suspended them from taking on any new monitoring cases for 90 days. The letter says Howard and Chief Judge Howard Sims wanted to terminate Anytime's contract immediately. However, Davis gave them 3 months to prove they could track the suspects. Howard says her concerns were validated 9 days after that letter was sent. Manor was killed in the Wren Avenue shooting. Back to you at the desk.
All right, thanks, Ashlyn. We reached out to Anytime Bonding. They did not respond.